Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a review on a pretty cool gadget. It's a aftermarket screen for the Beamer. Let's go. If you are an avid BMW motorcycle rider, you probably know all about this. This is the BMW Connected Motorrad Navigator 4, 5, or 6, depending on your version. And they work pretty good. They are tied into the bike itself. So when you power it up, they power up. And this is the newest rendition, which gives you pretty decent maps, but it's Garmin based and very limited on what it can do because it's just a GPS that doesn't actually give you live data. One benefit to the GPS from BMW is that it is tied into the bike to give you active alerts. And also it can be controlled with the Wonder Wheel. But besides for that, it's really not that good of a GPS. And this is also the second time I've had to warranty it based on Phantom, where it just basically starts doing its own thing and goes crazy. I just got in the mail from Carpuride, I think that's how you say it, their 702 BMW 7-inch IPS touchscreen. And this is the big deal about this. It's Apple CarPlay or Android Auto compatible. That's the killer right there. I'm going to explain to you the reason why after we get this set up. I'm going to show you something. But just to show you what comes in the box, you get a really nice 7-inch screen. So this thing is like a mini iPad. And it already has the Connected Ride cradle piece in it. I literally just end up tucking these wires in here, and I'll show you how this works. So you can see the BMW Connected Ride cradle that they sell. A lot of the bikes come with this GPS prep already on it. And this has the same 2 notches and 1 notch on the bottom. And literally just feed it in the bottom. So you're going to clip it in. And then you're just going to push the lock back. And this thing is good to go. You can take your key out and everything else. What I like about this is that this screen is a lot larger. In fact, it is about the same size as the BMW factory screen, just actually a little touch bigger actually. But everything is connected by the bike itself. So super easy to take on and off if you're, going into the store or you're camping and you don't want to leave your bike unattended and have somebody destroy it. And it locks in, everything locks in solid. This is waterproof as well. It comes with a built-in sunscreen. I'm not super crazy about this, but I understand why. You can actually see the reflection. There's my new truck in the screen. You can actually see the reflection in it. So that is going to be a bonus when you're going. I might also add that the screen is quite glossy. And what I did with my Garmin was I added a matte screen protector to it just because gloves like to have dirt and screens don't match. So that gives me a little insurance. But let me show you how this thing works. You can see the face of this. It gives you CarPlay-like icons, but this is actually your starting screen where you can access your SD card, which you can save music on. You can access your phone. You can actually turn the display right off, which is kind of cool if you decided you needed to do that. There's a settings area right here, which allows you to basically dump the whole system, tell it to what Wi-Fi you want to connect to, and your Bluetooth setup and things like that. Now, as far as pairing with your phone goes, it's pretty easy. You basically just tell this to become a discoverable Bluetooth device, and the system kind of does the rest. So I'm going to go back to the home, and you can see the iPlay, which is your CarPlay, and I'm just going to click on it, and you can see it is your familiar Apple CarPlay screen, which is fantastic. Now there's 2 massive bonuses to this. And this is the first one. These things eat the camera on your phone for lunch. So if you go on a long ride with these, the vibration from the handlebars eventually messes with the cameras on your phone. Because they're not designed for vibration, the image stabilizing of the phone doing this a million zillion times burns out. So in a lot of my videos, you'll see that I'll have my phone like this, I'll be riding. I'm doing that out of pure necessity because I need to use traffic GPS, something that's live, that is reporting, and your Garmin and your BMW connected ride GPS, they're not going to do that. They're kind of standalone. Yes, there is a link that you can pull data from your cell phone, but it really doesn't work that good. Apple Maps, just as a basic, does such a good job at basically showing you traffic, accidents, and things coming up. But because it's going to interface with apps, you can download Waze. And I'm a huge fan of Waze. It's just like you're using an iPad. You can move it around. It's very, very responsive. Now, there is one thing I do want to see here. So you can use it with gloves on. That's fantastic. So this is why I like Waze. Waze is superior to the standalone GPS units because not only do you have live traffic and rerouting if you get into things, but bad weather, which is cool if you're riding in the mountains like I was in the Blue Ridge a couple weeks back and you get fog. If there's a crash, if there's police, if there's a hazard, including potholes, tire in the road, anything like that. And I can't tell you how many times these road hazards pop up when you're riding, and man, it's just super useful. So that is fantastic. Now, there are other apps that you can use on the Apple App Store, including some of the off-road apps, Adventure Rider, like where the campsite's at, like iOverlander and stuff like that. I also like to run my scanner app on this that allows me to monitor traffic because it's possible that you're riding on the road and you're going to hit something and you want to know how bad the accident is if you should be diverting to look for another one. And of course, who doesn't like being able to run a Zoom call while you're riding on your motorcycle? I mean, come on now. Another really nice thing about this too is with the Apple CarPlay, there is an overall screen that allows you to see your music, it allows you to see your map, and a very quick and easy search function to find something. I'll tell you one more thing about this unit that I really like is the fact that it is such a large screen. It makes it easier to see on the bike. You don't want to have to squint down and look at small items and things like that. And sometimes I feel like the BMW screen, some of the items are a little too small on it. And I can tell you right now, if you look at the size difference between BMW connected Motorrad Navigator and there's a big difference there. There's a big difference. And I'll compare this over to my Garmin. If I put this right up next to it, it is also a little smaller. And this is the Garmin that's specifically made for motorcycles. The other thing about the Garmin that I don't particularly care for is the fact that you have to have this like gnarly mount thing bolted to it. And it does work well, but it limits where it's mounted on here. And this one kind of does the same thing because it has to stick off a little bit. It allows it to be a little bit more gaudy. And on this S1000, that is a little bit large. But on my GS, actually, it would be the perfect size. And I'm gonna mount it up on there. The only problem is that with the Garmin, I can't flip back and forth because you have to bolt this piece in here. This is part of the actual unit. You end up having to take this off because that's what locks the Garmin mount in place. The beautiful thing about this one is it actually doesn't require any extra hardware. It clips right in. There's nothing else you have to do. You just stick it in and go. So that's super cool. Now in the box, it's interesting to note that there are quite a few other things that it comes with. Just in case you don't have the connected ride setup, there is a 12-volt USB power converter, which is fantastic. And this gets its power through this like little twist lock thing. Looks like it came on a fish finder. It's waterproof. And that's pretty handy. And then it also comes with a handlebar mount with a Ram style turnbuckle, which coincidentally I use on almost everything when I mount my cameras to the bike. So that is a pretty good deal, and that's included with the unit itself. Then there is another power adapter here and some miscellaneous hardware and things like that. So this allows you to go right to the battery with it. And of course, instructions and that type of stuff. Junior just got rained out. He was gonna go on his motorcycle and where? I might get wet. Where?
Oh man.
Where? Just a little dry rain. I just found out something really cool. You're gonna love this. I found out that with my Cardo, if I have this paired directly to my phone, because of the way Apple CarPlay works, it basically just uses this as the display. That's it. How awesome is that? I just did a test phone call, and because it's paired to my headset, like a headset, It actually does the announcement of the caller ID through my ear so I can hear who's calling, and it pops up on the screen at the same time. And with music, again, I can control the music straight through here, and it plays right into my headset, right here. That is awesome. Initially, I thought I was gonna have to do the BMW connected ride thing where you go through the GPS back to your headset, but actually connect your phone directly to the Bluetooth comm set and connect your phone directly to this Bluetooth, and it sorts it out. Oh, I'm so stoked now. I am so stoked. That is awesome. So I know you probably may have an Android and you've been watching this and you're like, come on, show me the Android thing. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'm completely in love with the Apple product. But I'm sure the Android Auto thing works just as fine as well. In fact, if you have an Android and you're trying one of these, throw some comments down there and let me know how you like it. So far, I am super in love. This was actually the reason why I ended up getting an updated vehicle so that I could run CarPlay on the infotainment system, just because I like Waze and live traffic with Google Maps and Apple Maps. So now that I have this on the bike and it's a ginormous screen that's glove friendly, I'm in love. I'm like actually really excited. This might be the coolest gadget I've gotten for my bike yet. Now I'm gonna try a couple other different styles as well. There's a smaller one that I'm gonna see if I can adapt to fit on the handlebars. And I'm gonna give you a comprehensive Garmin review as well, so you can kind of compare all of them head to head, but I wanted a separate video for this one just because of the level of technology that this thing has. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments. Let me know if you've tried one of these, what you thought of it. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Is it just ridiculous and way too much for a bike? I don't think so. I think this is perfect. And I can't wait to mount it up in my GS. I wish I would have done that with the trip I just made to Key West, but oh well, it is what it is. I'm gonna throw some links in the description for you for this, direct to our Amazon partner. Helps us keep supporting the channel. And as always, ride safe.